Oh, we are live. Oh, it's gonna give it.
Gotta get you in there.
Gotta get the ceviche in there.
Should have looked. Are you gonna talk?
No, I'm just gonna watch.
Are you talking?
I'm gonna watch this. It's like a movie. It's like our favorite movie.
Start talking. Sure.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ezra. And this is my wife, Halli.
Hi.
And I'm sure many of y'all know her. We're having ceviche at our favorite little restaurant. So forgive us if we're eating. Ooh, we're outdoors, car wrecks. Kaya Dose.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, Peter. And I have a crowdfund going on, and there's only 3 days left, and we've raised almost $6,000 or something for this crowdfund. The goal is only $7,000, so it's real close, and we've got 3 days left. And so I lured my wife out here with some ceviche, some of her favorite, and to talk about what the album's about, because it's really a story. It's called The History of Love, and it's like the songs are like books in a bookshelf of our history of love. And so I thought we'd just have ceviche together, and there's Peter, and just talk about it, and which is a little awkward. Hallie's gonna keep eating.
Just like we're having dinner with friends.
We're having dinner with friends. We usually don't suggest the topic with friends, so how about the topic we talk about our marriage? It feels a little weird.
Okay.
So, if you go to the link, you'll see me talking about the history, but let's hear the real history of love, of our love. And to me, personal stories are real important in my music. It's what they're all about. And, you know, I've never, like, written love songs. I wrote songs that were kind of like bitter love songs. But this album has a little span over a whole marriage of songs. And our relationship goes way back to, who's that doing all that? Like, our relationship goes back to childhood. And so it really kind of spans a lifetime together through this album. And why don't you tell how we met, the first day we met?
The first day we met, my mother delivered him.
My mother, I was
really
born.
Did, but she was his mother's midwife. So I was in the other room when we were in a cult.
In a cult.
Our parents.
First show.
It was that. So the children had to be delivered at home. They didn't believe in hospitals. So my mother was the midwife, and I was in the other room. And I'm sure.
She's an older woman.
I am an older woman. He is.
I'm a young toy.
I am what is that called? A
boy
cougar.
toy.
So, anyway, that was our first meeting. I'm the first one, other than his mother and my mother and I guess family, that heard him cry.
In the other room.
And I liked it, so I decided to marry him so I could hear him cry a lot.
And she has. And I still kind of cry the same. Fetal position still goes on every once in a while. And so we were friends growing up. There's actually a time where I didn't know. I thought Halli was like family of some sort. I just literally just thought she was my family. I knew she wasn't my sister because I didn't hate her like I did with my sister when I was a little kid. I loved my sister. But she's on there. No. You know I love you. So we grew up kind of like family, and when we became teenagers, our families were really good friends, and we grew up together. Yeah, we didn't have any kind of romantic.
No, he was 2 years younger.
I was younger, and you know how that is.
Gross.
It's like gross, like I was a little kid, and she was
so
like a hot
mature.
teenager. She's so mature. Oh my God. And so things started going their own way in our teen years. And over the years, I went off and got into music
And got married.
Young. Got married real young. And
I wasn't gonna marry.
We only saw each other a few times over a long time.
Yeah, maybe
like
once.
at family get-togethers and stuff.
No, we only saw each other once when you were 18, and then and my sister's wedding. Well, I guess when I was 26, and then.
So we weren't really connected through life. I got married, and then I got divorced, and that's when Halli and her sister wanted to do a family reunion with us Vancils. And I was all like living behind my parents' house like a good divorcee, like a guy that's life is falling apart. And
yeah, your mom said that day that he got real mad because we were coming over. Our last name is Ellis. And he was like, the Ellis can't come over.
No.
Because he was living in...
Because I was living in shambles. I was living in my parents' house.
Room and, yeah. And
I was a grown man living at home, and I was ashamed.
Yeah.
I wanted her to see me as the great, successful man that I was.
So,
but she came, and it was a love at first sight. We got
it really was.
We fell in love, and we got married.
He moved
a few months later after we met back up.
He moved in like
crazy.
A week later.
A week later.
Like he really came over the next night and then never left.
I never left.
And so.
And so we were married
within like 6 months.
Was it 6 months or was it sooner?
Well, no, January we met together, and then August we got married.
Got married in August. Met again in January. Got married in August. So it's kind of loud.
And I literally heard that night. He's tired of this story.
I don't know if you can hear it. Can anybody hear us?
I literally heard something say, "You're going to marry him." We were with our family, and we were all drinking wine, and
a lot of
too much wine. But something audibly said that you're going to marry him, and I was like, "What?" I mean, it was really, really.
And
anyway.
she did. She took that seriously.
And I was like, "I'm going to marry him."
And she told me, "I'm going to marry you."
Yeah. And then I was like, "I want children."
She told me that too.
Right out of my kids. I was 30, so 33.
So I was married again after a marriage that just didn't work out too well. I was married, and we're going to have our great love story, and all these plans are going to be so wonderful. She thought that. I'd been through it once, and
we're good.
We're good.
Would you like some more time?
Yeah, please.
Want more water?
I'm good.
And so I knew I'd been through marriage, and I was like, yeah, this is not going to be what she thinks it's. She's never been married. Mm-hmm. So she was like, this is not. I was like, there's no way this is going to be what she thinks it is, because she had been waiting to get married and all that kind of stuff. Not
but
waiting,
it was going to be.
She wanted.
It was going to be
right
like
person kind
like
of
movies, and it was like going to be angels all the time. I mean, really, you're 33, and you think as an older person getting married that you wouldn't have all these crazy expectations. But boy, I mean, you do. I did. If you've never been married, you don't know. You're like, this is it. Every one of my dreams are going to come true. And
we're going to travel.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have a baby, and then I'll still be wearing heels with my baby Jorn. And
I left my job, and she's like, you can leave your job, baby. I'll take care of everything.
Insane. Like, I was like, we can do it all. Anyway.
And so it wasn't so good, though. And it went downhill pretty quick, huh?
When I got pregnant.
When she got pregnant is when it went like downhill, and it went bad, man. It turned bad to the point that it was absolute. Hey, it was enough the first one. To the point that it was just really a miserable thing, and and it was tough for me because I'd been married once, and here I am failing in another marriage, and I had a lot of issues that had continued on in my life with, I won't get into, but with addiction and stuff like that, and despair, depression, and it just got really bad. We became cut off from the world in our own little miserable house.
Yeah, we isolated a lot in the sadness.
Isolated. from each other and from the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it was too hard to talk to anybody.
We didn't know what
right?
to do, man. We were just, we had, you know, felt like we had tried all these ways to fix our marriage and read the right books and, you know, went
And
to
things
church.
like depression.
Yeah, we worked on, you know, our own issues, helped each other. But it just got worse and worse and worse.
And too much wine got drank in between those.
Too much wine, which was our solution.
True.
Our
Yeah.
solution to everything. And it got so bad, though, just at the end, that we just didn't like each other. This is two friends that had grown up together. And I'd even use maybe the hate word there. But,
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was.
They couldn't stand each
It was
other.
like the worst person you could. Yeah, there was complete hate, hatred. And
I
so,
hated her.
when
I
you
hated
hate your mate, you divorce them. So I did just that.
So she left.
I did.
I knew she would, too, because I
mean,
knew
it
you
was
could
like
only take
fast.
so much.
Yeah, it was
And,
fast. It was 8.5 years after we were together.
8.5 years, she took off, left this poor guy just to fend for himself in a big world. Learned how to wash clothes and stuff. But, so what happened, though, was in our story is that previous to her leaving, I kind of woke up from that craziness of my life, which was with my addiction and a lot of things I was dealing with personally, and just woke up and was like, I'm not going to live like this anymore. And with or without her, I'm not going to live like this. And I started changing things about my life, probably not in the best way. It was like a tank coming through, and I'm going to rehab my whole life, but it was in a real way. Like I was just trying to salvage things in my life. And that's when she left, and I had begun writing an album at that time about those 10 years between the marriages. And this album I'm about to put out is basically what it is now, is that the story kept going. I didn't realize that. It would have been a much sadder album back then. But she came back, believe it or not.
Yeah, and I can say that during that period there was a huge cathartic. I mean, there was a.
It had to
I
happen.
guess with both of us, and he had been going through kind of that. What would you call it? The something of the soul. What is that called?
The dark night of the soul.
The dark night of the soul. Like he had really fought extreme, deepest depressions that I've ever seen anybody go through, and I went. Then I kind of, I don't know. I went to where a lot of that.
She had become a nurse. That was
fix
her.
that, and then I went in my
job.
own depression. It's kind of like how they say not to. I mean, I had my own issues.
My friend
also,
says that there's
but-
only one crazy chair in the house.
Yeah.
And I had been in the crazy chair for too long, and she wanted to sit in it.
I had to sit in that. I like that.
You're like, I want the crazy chair.
I do. It's kind of like that. I went through a lot of. I just went nuts. Like I couldn't handle anything. I lived in constant fear, and it was very sad. And I thought that was really my only option. So.
And let me lead into the next part.
But you already said we got back together.
I know, but I want to say, so what happened was, my friend Tim Taylor, who came to live with me. I had a few people that came to live with me during that time when we were going through the divorce. And I'll start the next part with what he said, because he came. I was looking for the vacuum cleaner.
It wasn't when we were going through the divorce.
Oh, it wasn't?
It was after we got back together.
Okay, yeah, but this was like we had just got back together, and I was looking for the vacuum cleaner, and I said, he's like, "Where's your vacuum cleaner?" I said, "I think I lost it in the divorce." And he goes, "Well, at least you didn't lose your wife," because we had gotten back together. I love that line. So, and we started bringing stuff back together, and stuff got lost in the divorce, but we came back together, and we both realized this had to happen. It was a catharsis. It was like the perfect break down of our marriage so that it could be rebuilt into something that we really didn't know existed. I mean, I really just didn't know it existed. I thought marriage was just kind of, you deal with it, it's kind of okay sometimes if you're doing okay, and try to get away, maybe enjoy yourself on a vacation every once in a while, but you know, let's just face it, guys. It's just kind of sucks. That's kind of was my take on it. And when we came back, I think it was just that there was nothing left of us. There was not a lot
it was complete. Well, I mean, mine was that I
of our
loved
personal
you.
like ego.
I really realized that the love was there, and I didn't care about anything else. It was anything else that I just had to be with you, and then all the stuff that I thought was important in the marriage wasn't important. It was just who you are was important, and so I've surrendered kind of any ideas and everything, and just kind of surrendered to God and went, I'm just gonna love you. That's all.
You just want.
I don't care.
Peter asked, when did you do the walking around with the signs downtown? I did for those that don't know, I have a video called Song Before I Go, where I did a spontaneous confession on the streets of downtown Dallas. And that's a good thing because we came back together. This is what's weird. We had both gone on with other people, had other relationships, some of us more than others, and let's not talk about that. And so, that was an inside joke.
Yeah, it was an inside joke.
It was tough, man, to come back with your wife, and for a wife to come back to me when we had other people involved. I mean, when we came back together, there was other people involved. And when we first came back, we decided we wanted to try.
And we had a secret affair with that. Nobody knew.
Yeah, we had our own secret affair. That was kind of fun, having an affair with your wife. But we didn't. During that early period, it was like some days we're like, I can't do this. I do want this, and I finally do, but I don't know that I can get past this, the whole jealousy thing and what's happened while we were gone, and how much we'd hurt each other.
And so much anger and pain, and
so
it was impossible. Like,
we got
like,
back together,
impossible.
and we broke it up again, and we finally said we can't do it. And that, Peter, I'm sorry if you're not still there, but that is when the sign thing happened, where I walked out on the streets. We had literally broke up again.
That day.
That day.
We said we can't do it. We can't get over the pain ever. We'll never be able to be happy with each other because we would always punish each other.
Yeah, and we didn't want to hurt each other anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's even worse because we realized finally we loved each other desperately, but we didn't want to punish each other. And I realized that I wanted to punish her. And so our best thing was, we can't do it. I can't ever get over that. And so that was that day. That night, I bought a whiteboard, and I called Susie, my videographer, and said, hey, let's make a video. And so she came over with her camera, and hey, there he is. She came over with her camera, and I went and spilled my guts on the streets of Dallas. It was insane. And I confessed to the world what I'd never confessed to anybody.
It was every secret.
Every secret, because it was weird in that way that I just didn't want to hold on to anything in this world. And it wasn't a depression. It was a real realization of that I didn't have to hold on to anything in this world, and that this world is not really what I think it was. Here I was losing the love of my life, but somehow I felt like that's okay, you know? It's a God thing. And
I'm going to interject here because that video I saw like 2 days after that, and that was the catalyst for my life changed, because I saw how it was the most honest thing I'd ever seen. I mean, it's shocking if anybody hasn't seen it, and you go see the Song Before I Go, because it's literally every deep fear, every secret, everything he'd ever secretly. There was a couple things I didn't know about, and that you just don't tell the world. We're not honest with the world. I mean, it's mind blowing, but I was like, my first thought was like, I want to be with someone like that, and then I was like, I want to be like that.
That's my husband.
Know, and it made me realize my own fear, what I had been driving my life, and that how I was running and going, and that was the beginning of the surrender of just going, I have to be with a person that strong. That was the strongest person I'd ever seen, that somebody could go bare all your secrets on the side of the road in downtown Dallas in front of Neiman Marcus, and that was the catalyst of a lot of healing with me. You know, a lot of things that I've shifted my life completely.
Yeah.
And that shifted where I went over and discussed something with him and asked him to help me, and with
Peter said, seems like you were bearing your soul. It was mind-blowing for me. Loved you even more, brother. I love you too, Peter.
So I went over, and the first time he said, I told him I needed help with something, and he had told me that it was the first time I was actually ever asked him for help.
Yeah, that day after she saw that video,
I was a prideful person, I guess.
she had ever asked me for help. She's a really strong woman, if you can't tell. She's just a real, I was about to say headstrong woman,
Yeah.
but she is. She's a very strong woman. She doesn't need a dude to help her. And the weird thing is part of my love for her is that I need somebody to need me, you know? And she completely will take care of herself. And it, you know, that when she came back, it really was the beginning of our marriage. We don't even celebrate our old marriage date. We celebrate that day that we came back together after that video. And you know, when we got back together, it was still tough.
It was
but we
tough.
were committed to like hack our marriage. We were like,
marriage hack.
it's a marriage hack. And every little thing that came up, every little pain, there was like almost an impromptu meeting of how can we deal with this now? What do I need to let go? What do you know, it was a meeting together as partners to go, how can we go a little bit further? How can we not hurt each other? You know, it's that's a lot of details to go into, but we really like reworked the framework of how our marriage works.
No, it really wasn't. It was complete honesty was
It was
the
core.
the core.
No matter what it is.
No matter what.
Yeah.
And we'll just talk about it because, you know, each other's feelings. We're adults and we can talk about anything, and we can hurt each
desires,
other.
anything.
Yeah.
And and under that, probably the commitment that, is somebody sensing? The commitment behind that was that we were done. We had realized, that's what that catharsis did for us. I realized without a doubt that there was one person on this earth for me. And so I was willing to put away my pride, my ego, and I wanted to. I desired to become somebody that desired her happiness more than mine, which is really what we think about marriage anyways. It's that I love somebody so much that I would give my life for them, you know? It really became that but it took it like a commitment of finally, not even a commitment, it wasn't a decision. We just realized, I don't give a shit. I want to be with this person the rest of my life. So whatever I have to change about myself, whatever the house needs to change to, you know? Well, I mean in the whole hacking area. But if we had to put whatever work we have to put into.
We didn't change ourselves.
No.
That's where the first time that I think we were actually honest about who we were. And it was like, if he went in a mood and I felt uncomfortable, I'd go stay at my mom's for a couple of days. If he got grumpy or if he was like, yeah, you need to go away for a couple of days. That was always on the table. It still is.
Still is.
There's
it's kind of remove yourself, but without any kind of animosity, but an understanding that we could. Yeah, I was talking about like whatever work had to be done, I was willing to do.
Right, inner work.
Yeah, but at the same time, I guess it's kind of paradoxical because we also embraced our own lives.
We embraced our own. We took responsibility for ourselves, for our own feelings, like
our own finances.
We really lived by the 95% of things people say or do are not about you. So, like, if he's walking around in a bad mood, it's not about me unless he comes up and says, hey, I have a problem. Like, it really took out the guesswork, took out any kind of, like, if you have a problem, tell me. If not, I'm not even going to worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's even that if I got hurt by something she said or didn't do or whatever, that belongs to me. Mm-hmm. It's really all mine. It's none of her business what I do with it. Even how, that gets into a lot of. It gets into a lot of stuff. Yeah, but anyways, there's a crowdfund.
We grew up. There is a crowdfund. I guess that's what we're doing this. Yeah. The History of Love is your album. So
History of Love is what came out of all this.
All the songs that got written from this album.
And it's cool because it's really, I've put out a lot of stuff over the years, but this is like a defining album for both of us, because she's also a fan unless she's divorced from me. Then she doesn't listen to my music.
No,
during
I
that
couldn't
period.
listen.
Oh no,
It was
I'm
just
being
heartbreaking.
facetious.
I was still a fan. You're still amazing. I still thought you were a genius. But I didn't listen.
But she didn't listen. That's okay. That kind of hurt me worse than the divorce, is that she didn't listen to my music during that period.
I know.
But this, we get off.
Yeah, let's get back on it because we've been on
Okay,
here.
we've been on.
I always go. What's so funny? I always go.
Short.
Now, I just want to read that. I always
Peter's,
go. You tell that you're on the longest things, and he's like, I just keep talking, and I'm like, oh, make them short. And now I'm just like,
Now she's doing the
I'm
same
like,
thing.
Yay!
Because it's our friends on here. We would do this if they were sitting here. So Peter says, life is too damn short, and helping each other become is truly enlightening. Y'all are really finding it. Did this translate into music for this project? Thank you, Peter. I think Peter's actually assisting me in talking about what I need to talk about. So this contributed to the album, and the album is, like I said, it's kind of chapters, it's books on a bookshelf of this history of love, all the way back to the beginning of our marriage. And it comes into this, if it was played linearly, it plays into this linear progression through our marriage.
Isn't there a song about breaking up? There's one about when I was leaving.
Yeah, there's one about meeting her. There's one about
Yeah.
her leaving. There's one trying to get back together, but it's too painful. There's one, so it does that. And it's a real definitive
During the divorce.
album for me, because like even a couple of the songs are already signed with a cool publishing house. So it's already like kind of defining who I am musically, which I'll tell you, up until this time, it took me a long time to find. And she helped me find it. All these songs, I mean, I got drawers full of songs about this woman. Just drawers and drawers and drawers. And my songs is how I communicate. And so sometimes when we can't communicate, when I can't communicate, she communicates pretty well. I have to write a song to communicate something to her. And sometimes in this new way of our marriage, she'll go, I'll listen to it later. I don't have to do that. But when she hears this music, it's so much a part of me communicating.
That's not true.
Yeah, sometimes. Most of the
Not
time
if
you
it's
do
a new
listen.
song.
Not if it's a new song. But a lot of this
I
music,
drop everything.
she's good to have when I talk, because she will.
We love you too, Gail.
Who is that?
Gail.
I have my glasses. Love you, Gail. And so this album is really kind of this marriage, but I hope that it's more than that. I hope that people really kind of connect to the songs and see things in their own marriage where, where it fits. That's what I like about music. I really do. I like the connection,
It can fit
feelings.
into.
But it's that hopefully it helps others with communicate their feelings. But
Yeah.
we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, thank you.
Um,
And so,
yeah, and it's beautiful. I mean, I know I'm biased, but it is a beautiful album. And I've been listening to the. Sometimes we both have studios in the house, so I have to listen to him edit or mix, I guess is what it's called.
record,
Edit, mix,
mostly what I
record,
do at home.
and it's the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And then I have ADD and a little bit of OCD, and then the songs will be like, and I'm
So
hammering,
no wonder
and I'm
she
like,
likes them.
ah! but anyway, when you hear some songs, they blow me away. They're beautiful. You're in
I think they're my
amazing.
best songs,
I
and
think
it was,
so.
and that's
It's
a whole
every
nother
one.
subject. But it took all this to kind of birth the songs, all this pain to birth some songs that I really have wanted in my life. Ways of speaking about topics, about love. I had to go through like the dark night of the soul in love to like come to the other side to write some of these that
Find what real love.
and to find, and I call it like
For
a
us,
love
yeah.
songs for adults.
Yeah.
That's maybe not good for my marketing plan, but it is. It's kind of, I listen to younger love songs, and that's all great, and it's all about the early stages of love and everything. I wanted to write something that's like the real deal. Like this is like what it's really about, and it's not easy, man. I was about to say something really naughty, but it's not easy to get what. I know it's good that I did, because I was about to say that. Yeah, it's a term I say that I shouldn't say in public, but it took so much to get to this other side. We almost didn't make it. I don't know how we made it to this other side. And we still have a long journey to go, but just to get past that little hump of being able to really see somebody else in your life as a person, separate from you, that meets, was huge.
And it's the best journey I've ever been on. Like, they say that when you go through the pain, and all the pain, even the music that came out of it, that the beauty that came out of those ashes, I guess, is just...
It's treasures.
And this, and
it's
love.
treasures in our life.
And our love before was never like this. It was very selfish and young.
Yeah.
I don't even
But
know.
we embrace that too, because
We do.
all of that needed to happen for our personal love story, history of love, for us to find what we were looking for. So we embrace even the young, foolish love and the horrible, miserable marriage days, and all of it is a part of the story. And we cherish it all.
Yeah.
I say that.
But it is so, I feel so lucky. We're very lucky. We're very blessed, let's just.
And one bowl of ceviche does us. I'm very lucky with that.
But the crowd fund.
Oh, crowd fund. We've raised. It's almost 6,000.
He's already, I guess, on your whole album, you've already spent about 7 or 8.
7, or I'm about to spend almost 8.
On you, and then
8
the
for me.
So this will finish mixing.
This is the mix.
The mixing and mastering.
A few final touches on the recording. We did most of this in the studio. And it's also going to help me make CDs and get it out a little bit. But most of it is really just the mixing. That's the most expensive part of making an album. And I'll say lastly is that I'm working with David Castell from Promised Land, the guy that worked on my album Promised Land, because these two albums are very connected. That was written during a divorce, and this is 10 years later or more, about a marriage that went through a divorce but made it, about a love that made it. And so I have David Castell as our mix guy. Please let them know
to get Promised Land as primer. Oh, if you haven't heard Promised Land,
you need to hear. Begin with the beginning of the book, because that's the album Promised Land.
That's his other marriage.
Yeah, you can find Promised Land was
good
with the band I was with. Peter says listen to Promised Land before or as a primer to this album. And Promised Land they really kind of connect. And Promised Land is probably one of
saddest.
A very sad album, but a very real album that was written during an actual divorce. By the time I finished it, the marriage was over. This one is the other side of that, what life looks like after that.
Yeah, that's a great album.
So start there for sure. And so we have 3 days left, and we love you all. Everybody's been so helpful in this whole thing. Not just this last little crowdfund, but I've seriously been on this. We went in the studio last fall, and there's been so much help along the way, and I just thank you all. Many of you are here on Facebook, and friends and family that have been so helpful to me in this little music journey I have. And it's just my little story, just one little dude going through with his wife, writing music, and I really appreciate y'all allowing me and helping me to do this.
And you can get on there and just buy a pre-CD, which I've been telling people to do, because it's like if you're going to buy a CD anyway.
Yeah, you can buy a CD.
You
can just buy the CD on the crowdfund.
It's a pre-CD.
Pre-release. You'll get it early.
But I mean, you're just buying it before. So you're actually getting something back.
Yeah, you're purchasing. What is that called?
Pre-purchase.
Pre-purchase the CD. Yep, you can do that, and you can buy an early bird one where you get it like right when it's fresh done. You'll get the downloads to the album.
You're not just donating, like throwing. I mean, if you just don't have that, but you are going to want a CD.
But if you are going to want a CD, you can purchase it.
That's an easy way to do it.
And it'll just come out.
Help him finish it
with all the rewards that are going out. Saturday is the last day, Peter. I think it says 3 days left. What is today? Tuesday? Thursday?
It's Saturday, I think. Friday or Saturday.
It might be Friday, Peter. I think you're right. They go to the link I have posted at the top of this. You can actually just go to my website, EzraVancil.com, and on the homepage there's a link to the story, like an official kind of music story. You can hear some of the music from the rough mixes of the album. Click there on the homepage of on the crowdfund button, and it'll take you there, and you can pre-purchase. There's rewards there, And is that it?
That's it.
Uh,
Thank you for having dinner
Thank you.
with
Hey,
us.
there's hi, Margaret. Bye, Margaret.
Bye,
We gotta go.
Margaret.
We gotta finish our ceviche. We're at Kaya Dose. So love
Okay.
you all. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.